Hello, friends of the internet. Welcome to General Nerdcast, episode 62.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm so bad at this. I'm
That's
super
aight.
bad at the numbers.
Super bad.
7 away.
What? Oh. What?
62.
62.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some generally nerdy things. I'm one of your hosts, Bobby. With me, as always, is Tyler. And because it's Friday, and it's Fun Fact Friday with Taylor, we brought Taylor along. Today
Taylor.
we're gonna talk to you about our favorite game stories and narratives.
Yeah.
Mine changed about 4 days ago. So, yeah, that's today's Fun Fact Friday.
Yeah.
Narrative stories.
Narrative stories.
Who wants to go
Well,
first?
I think you should start it off if yours just changed, because that's like
Okay.
super
So,
fresh, ready to go.
yeah, my original one, I was going to talk about the Uncharted series.
Yes.
Because it's probably my favorite video game series of all time. Not my favorite video game, but the series in itself. The way the story that it told
plays
and
out.
stuff like that is really, really good. And just like the weird twists and turns that they throw at you, and like then it goes into like different things where I don't know. If you played Uncharted, you know what I'm talking about. That was going to be our original topic of conversation. That's what I was going to talk about for a few minutes. But now it's just an honorable mention because Tuesday of last week, the 8th, I believe.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was released, and that has taken over my favorite storyline and narrative of all fucking time. Basically, Hellblade is about Senua, who is a Celtic warrior who has a major psychosis, so she's crazy in her head, and she hears voices and like. She's going... Basically, the whole time you're playing this game, you're living inside of her head. Is kind of like what I took from it.
Yeah.
And everything that you fight along the way, all the stories that you unlock are like you're battling her demons in her head. And when you unlock puzzles and stuff, you're unlocking the puzzles of her mind. It's like... That's the feel that I got while I was playing it.
Yeah.
And... I know you said you started it.
I've started it.
Play it with headphones on.
I have. As soon
Because
as,
it's
like...
freaky as fuck.
No, as soon as it suggested to play with headphones on, and I was like... I listened to maybe the first minute, and I saw the suggestion, so I paused it, plugged in headphones, put them on, I'm like... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, the constant...
So...
background noise
Oh.
that you keep
Yeah.
hearing throughout the
Yeah.
game is
So-
pretty amazing. I've only played maybe an hour.
Yeah, you're
Tops.
still fresh.
Yeah.
It's not a super long game. I think it's only like 6 hours
Yeah.
to play through the whole thing. But so they developed this audio technology for this game, Ninja Theory did, where you don't have to have surround sound, but the way that the sound pushes out through different parts of the speaker creates this awkward fucking sound sensation. And it's like when you put headphones on, and it blocks out every other sound that you're hearing, and you're just hearing what's going on inside the game. You literally hear, like, everything, all the noises around you, like they're actually around you. Like, this game in VR would fuck my life.
Okay.
Because like if it was in first person, I'd probably actually go insane. Because the way that the sounds come from the speakers and the way that it projects the sound is so scary. Like, that's half the experience of the game.
Yeah.
So if you're not playing with headphones, you're doing it wrong. Go start over.
that, or if you have a bomb-ass surround sound and you have nobody interrupting you,
Yeah,
that might be...
that might work
It
too.
could work. I don't know for sure. It probably...
I don't see, because I don't know if the technology or the thing that the sound thing that they developed
Can work
was
with.
just for headphones, or if it was just kind of. But even beforehand, when you're playing like the first part before they tell you to do that, and like the voices are talking to her, it still sounds like they're all around you.
Oh, yeah.
It's the sound in this game is fucking bizarre, and it's amazing. But like I was saying, basically you play her through her psychosis and how she's dealing with it and how she's trying to fight back and trying to like regain control of her mind. And there's a lot of cool puzzles, and it was a lot of fun. It's Nordic gods and stuff and Nordic history, so that's really cool too. It throws in like pretty much all of them. if you go through and find all the lore stones, the story that it tells through those is amazing as well. It's not, they're kind of like side stories. They're not even like real stories that involve everything that's going on inside the story. But those are really cool too. So probably go through them all and try to find them all and then listen to them all because they're really good. But it tells a story of Senua, who is trying to fight her psychosis and save her husband's soul.
I think
I don't think you've gotten that far yet.
I've seen a part.
Well, have you seen the face behind her breathing?
Yeah,
That's her husband's head that she carries with her, and she's trying to like save his soul by going through all of these things and fixing her own mind. I don't know. It sounds really confusing, but when you play it, it's actually really, really good. And the story that they paint and the story that they tell is fucking amazing. I recommend it seriously to anybody that has a PS4 or a computer. I think it's on PC too, but
I'm pretty sure it is. It's pretty intense for what little I
honestly,
played.
It would be worth buying a PS4 for this. Like, I'm gonna be that guy, and I'm gonna say it. I don't care, Taylor. Take that to the bank.
Plus, it's only $30 instead
smoke
of
it.
a $60 game.
Yeah, and it's something that everybody was calling a AAA indie title.
Yeah.
Because there's AAA and there's indie. And then Ninja Theory was like, no, it's neither of those. It's a AA title, and don't fuck it up anymore. So this is technically what they call a AA title that Ninja Theory made. Ninja Theory also made a Heavenly Sword and something else.
Heavenly Sword, Hellblade.
Huh? Heavenly Sword.
What's the game called?
Hellblade. Yeah.
They
Hellblade.
like
Senua's
spiritual-
Sacrifice.
Spiritual stabby things.
Yeah. Spiritual stabby things. But yeah, no, it's probably my favorite narrative in shit of all time. I seriously sat for 8 hours, played the whole game, went back and got all the lore stones that I didn't collect, and fucking smashed the whole thing.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it.
Find what?
Oh, the other games. So I'm pretty sure they mentioned
Oh,
it
yeah.
in here.
Come on, Luna. I guess the dogs aren't going to be good today.
Heavenly Sword
Oh, and Devil May Cry. That was the other one.
Yeah.
They're responsible for those titles, so we knew that they were going to make a good game, because Heavenly Sword is really good, and the new Devil May Cry, I only played the demo, but it was fun from what I played, and I'll probably go back to it someday, if I ever finish catching up.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I would recommend
I
this
watched the trailer for
very
it
highly.
when you were telling us about it, and it did look... While still being limited to what the consoles like this gen can do, it looked like it was, the first of the next level of gaming in terms of detail and storytelling. And
Yeah.
I kind of picked it up like, just from the trailer. I was like, this looks incredible. Like, this doesn't look like a cookie cutter game that just has, really good graphics and it's essentially just a movie that you're playing through. Like, this looks like an actual experience.
And it for sure was. It like,
Yeah.
I can't explain the sounds because it's really hard. Unless you experience it, you just don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I still haven't dove into it because I was trying to do other studying and watch Punchline.
Punchline.
But yeah, I need to finish the game pretty much, and I really wanted to. Like, for the next couple of days, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I could play it right now. I could do that. I got to read this.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend playing when you can play uninterrupted.
Yeah.
And you can just play through the story and actually feel what's going on, because it's definitely one of those games. If you just go in to just hack and slash, because there's parts of it that's kind of like hack and slashy.
Yeah.
But if you're going into it thinking it's something like that, don't bother, because you're not gonna get the experience. You'll be like, this game was garbage and I hated it because I thought it was this and not this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that was one issue I did have with the beginning. Is because I kept getting text messages, so I kept having to stop to respawn and whatnot. And
Turn your phone off.
yeah, I should have. But it is what it is. I still have most of the game left to finish, so
Yeah.
I'll probably try and do it
Yeah, you haven't even-
uninterrupted.
You haven't even really gotten, from where you told me where you are, you haven't really gotten to the parts where
Yeah.
things get really wild and it's like, what?
Yeah, I will say it.
Hi, Luna.
It does have a challenging concept to it, just because if you die enough, you have to restart.
The permadeath thing.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna ruin
Wait,
that
they
for
do
you.
have
But
combat?
they in the beginning, the first fight you get into, you fight this shadow creature, and he kills you, and then like, what do they call it? They call it the
I don't know what they call it. It's pretty much like a corruption.
It's basically, I can't remember the exact word that they use, but it's like corruption essentially, where it's like starts crawling up her hand, and if it reaches her brain, Senua's dead, and you can't continue. Is what they tell you in the beginning.
Yeah.
So there's a permadeath situation.
Yeah. That's pretty
That's
exciting.
interesting way to implement it.
Yeah, it's kind of. It makes all the fights really intense
It does.
because you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh
Especially
shit.
as they slowly get harder and harder throughout it. Like, you fight a couple more people here and there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Dude.
I didn't know there was a couple people when I was focusing on one time, and I almost lost it.
yeah. There was, yeah, and like the weird thing is when you're in fights, the voices will help you because they can
Oh,
they
yeah,
can see
I
behind
did-
you, and
I did
and
notice
she'll
that.
one of the voices goes behind you, and that's fucking terrifying too because it sounds like she's talking behind you, and like in the sound it's like behind you, and you're like, oh god, and you know something's attacking from behind you.
I didn't notice
You
that
like
until
actually turn around. You're like, what?
Well, shit.
yeah, I didn't notice that until probably like she had to have said it a couple times, and I like finally realized, oh god, I have to listen to these voices.
Yeah, they try to help you as best they can, but also at the same time they're like conflicting with you.
Yeah,
They're like, you should go down here. No, don't. It's a trap. Don't go down there. It's dangerous. Go down there. It's the only way you can do this.
yeah.
But like they're whispering, so it's creepy. Like I don't know. Like
I would love this in VR.
I think 90% of the people that knew about this game are fucking sleeping on it, and that's terrible. Because,
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Like, this is like the number one sleeper game.
yeah, and after playing it, it should at least be in the top 5 contender of Game of the Year this year. I don't think it's going to win because I think it's pretty much right now it's between Zelda and Horizon, but
Yeah,
I think it should at least be mentioned in that top 5 final vote.
could get the indie one. Well,
So
I don't know. I don't know if it's
yeah,
technically
it
an
may
indie
not
title.
be. Yeah,
I don't know. Depends on what
I
they market it
haven't
as.
played Zelda, but do you think that Zelda's really that good of a game? I mean, obviously it's a good game and everyone was like super hyped on it, but do you think it's really the best game, or do you think it's just the one that people got most excited about? Because the
think-
way
Talk
that
to
you're
Tyler about
describing
this.
Hellblade makes it sound like it's I don't know, this like totally new branch of a way to play a video game.
It kind of is. It kind of feels that way. Like, I think mostly just because you're going into it thinking of it like, okay, this person's insane and crazy, and she's just gonna be crazy, and then like you're doing it, and you're like, what? And like and like they actually got neurologists and people with these diseases and stuff to help them develop the game and be there on the development team, so they could explain exactly how they feel and what they go through,
Yeah.
so that it was the most realistic thing they could possibly do, like for not even just for the game, but also for the people, because they don't want to like misportray
yeah.
what exactly these diseases and
Right.
sicknesses and illnesses, stuff like that, whatever you want to call them, what they actually do to people. So I mean, like, knowing that as well kind of adds to the whole like, Jesus Christ, this is something people actually go through. This is like something that somebody's going through right now.
Yeah.
And like that really fucks me up too. Like I'm like, fuck, dude, this is real life. But anyway, Zelda, tell me about it.
I think it is a really good game. It could be on par with Skyrim in sense, just because it is so open world. You don't have to exactly follow the story as it could be laid out or whatnot. You can do wide exploration and everything, and slowly find little things here and there without actually diving into the story. Or you can follow the story to a T. I don't think I feel like there's not enough follow-up on it. Like, not as many people are going to stick through it because so many people were spending the time just beating the game right away so they could do speed runs, like, after the first month. Like, I think it was even before
it was like
that.
the first 2 days somebody was trying to speedrun it.
Yeah.
And I was like, have you even finished the game? Like, how can you speedrun a game that you've never finished?
Yeah, and it if they did what Bethesda did and add mods to it, which they won't.
They won't because it's Nintendo.
Yeah. I think it could be on par or possibly in Game of the Year or anything. I sadly think it's going to fall out of the running for it just a little bit. But then again, I also
Zelda?
Zelda. I don't think I've gotten as far into it as I should to fully make that decision.
That's fair.
But I get the feeling it won't be in the top running for it. Or, no, it'll be in the running for it, but I don't think it'll make it.
I think it'll be for sure in the top 5.
Yeah.
I just feel like if I was the person judging like the best game of the year, I don't know if I would be super amped on a game like Zelda because, while the game is great and it's the next step that the Zelda franchise needed to take, the way that I judge a game is what games are innovating and bringing something new to the table, and it sounds like Hellblade is a lot more like that than Zelda.
If Hellblade wins Game of the Year, I'll be fucking jazzed, dude. I'll fucking jump and headbutt my ceiling fan.
Next, I told you! I fucking told you!
I told you! Sleeping on that shit, you fuck shit! No, but...
Yeah, that...
I've said it 1,000 times. Not exactly pumped on the Zelda, because it's not a Zelda game for me. It's weird. Like, I mean, it's probably a great game, and it's probably a lot of fun, and it probably could win Game of the Year still, I think. I think it's still in the top 2 or 3, easily. But I just don't feel... To me, it's not a Zelda game that I grew up with, and like I'm scared to change. And I stand by my statement that this was not developed as a Zelda game. They were developing a different game and threw a Zelda skin on it.
Yeah.
I stand by that. Because if you look back through all of the Zelda games, they're all the same kind of formula. And then this one was just like, blah!
Yeah, but...
Yeah, they're just like, we need an open world RPG.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not talking down on it.
That's not what I was going to say.
But I'm just saying, like, I just don't feel like... Initially, when they threw this pitch and they just started the development of this game, it was not Zelda.
Okay.
And then they...
Here's what I will say, and Zelda universe did need a change.
It did. Yeah. I agree.
And the only reason I'm going to say that is because in comparison to, let's say, Call of Duty, how long has it been? And we've all just kind of, well, at least me and you, have fallen off of Call of Duty and been like, it's the same goddamn thing every time.
Yeah.
I was almost going to talk about Call of Duty as one of my favorite narratives.
Oh. Well.
Seriously, the Modern Warfare series.
Yeah, those were really good.
Yeah.
Just not necessarily the gameplay, and especially not necessarily the multiplayer, but the narrative of those games is actually really, really, really good.
Yeah. I will say that I did enjoy a few of the stories.
Yeah.
For as much as I could. I understand it's a war game and killing off a bunch of the characters always happens, but it's also kind of annoying. But that happened, depending on.
But you got to think of it. Let's compare it to Zelda. The core game, or the core storyboard of a Call of Duty game is okay. There's some super catastrophic event happening, and we need to try to stop it. And so that's like the underlying narrative the whole time. And it's like, okay, here's some story, and then you just fight waves of, nameless enemies. And then here's some more story, and then you fight waves of nameless enemies. That is what that game is about. Just the same as before Breath of the Wild, Zelda was, okay, here's some story, now go solve some puzzles. Here's some story, now go solve some puzzles.
Yeah.
They're both formulated to do what they're intended to do, and I can see one person finding either or pretty boring. It's just dependent on your taste.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean they're put together poorly.
Yeah, no, exactly. They're just different, and it's just not what you're into, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still going to play it. I'm going to go take Jeremy's Switch for like a week, and I'm going to play it. I'll do it. And then I'll make a fair judgment on it.
I'm not saying I'm going to like it, but I'll do it.
Yeah, right now, I've literally played none of it.
Yeah.
You are making me want to seriously buy a PS4. And it's not that I'm like a huge Xbox boy. It's just the games that I tend to like are more so on Xbox. Aside from, I do truly hate the PlayStation controller. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel right in my hands. But with games like Hellblade and a lot of the PlayStation exclusives that I've seen, I kind of feel like at this point, I'm just limiting myself in what I can experience. But it's also kind of hard to justify spending a couple $100 on the chance that I might enjoy these games.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wish I could
that's
just
fair.
like send mine to you and just be like, here, play this.
Like, if
for
I
a
was
while.
balling, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I
My
think it would be
ball in-
worth it, like you said, because you limit yourself. And I kind of feel the same way with a lot of Xbox One exclusives. I'm like, man, I really want to play that game. Like Sunset Overdrive, I fucking want to play that game so bad, but I never got to because it was an
Yeah.
Xbox exclusive, and just never don't have an Xbox.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't like the Xbox. It is what it is. I mean, Xbox does this, PlayStation does this, PC does that. They're all their own great systems. And as long as you're playing games, I don't give a fuck what you're playing on. Just have fun.
Yeah.
And I would like to have all of them,
Yeah.
but it's expensive.
It is.
So,
And time consuming.
yeah, that too.
Yes, for sure.
Anyway, so now that we're
Wouldn't
talking
it be
about
nice if you could have like
stories and
an unlimited
narratives,
bank account and all you had to do was just like play video games? Like, that's just what you did.
just play video games and we'll just keep loading money. Oh,
I could do
I could do that.
Yeah.
so my favorite story narrative was Hellblade.
Yeah.
Back on topic. Yeah, I think I've.
I got bit by
I don't want to beat a dead horse on it.
Yeah.
So,
Don't want to spoil
and
anything.
I don't want to say something on accident and spoil it for everybody. So, I think I'm gonna end my thing on that with everything we've talked about with Zelda, and
Okay.
So-
yeah.
I'll let one of you guys go now, and then
Big jump.
yeah, we just went off on a tangent.
I was kind of like you, Bob,
What?
where when I first started thinking about it and I was like looking through my drawers of video games and trying to think back on games that I had played, I almost talked about Call of Duty, or again, specifically the Modern Warfare series, and even more specifically of those Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
That story for me was just so good. And I was like this close to bringing up Kingdom Hearts as my favorite story,
Oh, that's a really good one too.
but it's just a little bit too complicated. I think, like you really have to try to learn about what's going on. You don't necessarily learn it from playing the games. So I kind of shied away from that, but Kingdom Hearts is definitely my second one. Just the whole
mention.
concept is so cool. Yeah, it's my honorable mention how your heart isn't actually a heart. It's like your soul, basically,
Yeah,
which is like an even mix of light and dark, and those two things have to balance each other out. And so you take that simple premise, and then it just explodes. And
and then you add Disney characters, and everybody goes, "Yes."
yeah, all the Disney levels are cool. It's like Kingdom Hearts without Disney, it would still be a great game. It'd be a lot
Yeah.
more like a Final Fantasy style game, I suppose.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, the Disney makes it a lot more relatable to people, and obviously kids can pick it up because they're like, "Oh, like Winnie the Pooh. Here's a Winnie the Pooh level."
yeah. Ariel level.
Because all kids talk with a southern accent. But I thought about it, and I was going really, really, really back and forth. I had like 5, and then it dropped to 3, being Call of Duty, Kingdom Hearts, and then the other one that I'll mention. And I think the one that really shines for me the most, and it might be because I've read a couple of the books associated with it as well, so I just know a lot about it, is honestly the Halo series. There's the universe that they created within that franchise, and all the backstory that they have for literally everything, plus Master Chief's interactions with Cortana. I just thought that it was told really, really, really well. Not necessarily 100% through the video games, but just the timeline of what happens within the Halo universe. It's just such a fucking cool story.
Yeah,
So,
I'll give you that one. Halo.
I mean,
was
how much do you
definitely-
guys know about Halo? Because I don't want to just like be telling you shit that you already know about.
Well, I mean, you can tell us anyway, but I read all 3 of those books: the Fall of Reach, I think it's the Fall of Reach, the Flood, and then the last one. I can't remember the name of that one, but I read those 3 books that came out after, shortly after Halo came out, and I mean, I guess I don't know like all of the lore or anything like that, but I do know what they said in the books, and I do know what I've played through in the first 4 Halo games. So
Did you not play 5?
I've not.
You should.
Oh, great! I'll go get an Xbox right now.
Okay, I'm gonna mail you my Xbox and Halo 5, and you mail me your PlayStation 4 and Apple.
Well, it's on my hard drive. You just turn it on and push go.
We could play it on Wednesday when I'm there. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
Could do that.
Yeah. How long? We're not gonna talk about that right now. How long are you gonna be here? When are you coming in?
I don't know, but I did check, and I am allowed to take the rental car that they're going to give me all the way to Reno. So that was
Hell
like
yeah.
the number one question that I asked. I was like, so, this is going to take a while. Am I allowed to take the rental car to Reno? And the girl's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I was like, all right, Bobby, Tyler, I'm coming.
Cool.
Anyway,
so how
so
much do you know about Halo, Tyler? Before you
The
go.
basics.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I
Tyler.
just know from the games. I unfortunately haven't read any of the books. I did see the Halo movies they made though,
Oh, okay.
like the little shorts,
Yeah.
and one of the most recent ones, like within the last 3 years, I think.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think
Do
it
you
was.
want to read the books? Because I have them.
I could.
The only
They're
thing to
good.
note about the books is that they're all written by 2 or 3 different people.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
the first book was written by one guy, and then the second was written by a different guy. I don't know if the guy that wrote the second also wrote the third. But you
Yeah,
can
I
tell
can't
just
remember.
the way that the stories are told, it's from a different person.
Yeah,
Kinda
yeah,
different.
for sure. But God, the fucking the way they like in the Fall of Reach, the way they explain like how the whole Master Chief program thing. I can't remember what it's called right now, but
Spartan program.
the Spartan program. Thank you. The way that it's created and what they do and how they choose the individuals for it, and then like everything that happens to them, and like the whole time you're reading this book, you know that obviously Reach is gonna fall.
Yeah.
And even I think even in Halo 1 they briefly touch on Reach, and like
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but
Yeah.
I remember knowing before I started reading the book. I remember knowing that Reach fell at one point, and we don't
Yeah,
have that plan
yeah.
anymore.
You know. Well, even Halo 1. You know what is going to happen, and this is all what's leading up to it. So it's really interesting to fill in the backstory while also knowing what the ending is. So you're like, wait, but how is this going to like tie into this?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh,
He's gone.
Sunday,
Oh, he's back.
Sunday fun day. Go have fun.
oh. Who's that, Ghost or Luna?
No, it's someone calling our business phone.
Oh.
Oh, it's Sunday. Get out of here. I don't work on Sunday.
Yeah. Like, I just picture someone who's trying to call a business on a Sunday where you know what our business hours are, like just those derpy people with wide eyes, like, maybe someone will pick up.
I'll just call and leave a message.
So,
Anyway, Halo.
to condense a very large universe into as tangible facts as I can, Halo is all about this guy named Master Chief, or Spartan 117. His first name is John. I don't think they ever reveal his last name. Maybe they do briefly at the beginning of the first book, but I don't know if they ever actually reveal his last name.
Don't think so. I
So-
think it was always just John.
Yeah, I think it's just John. Before I go on, Halo is the one thing that I truly love, where I really, really, really want them to actually make a movie, but I also really, really don't, because the way that people are making movies now, they're
Yeah.
just going to fuck it up.
They're gonna
Yeah.
ruin everything. The
It's gonna
story,
Yeah, they're
show.
gonna ruin
it's
it.
all there. All you have to do is just follow the fucking platform that's already given,
Yeah,
and they're gonna be
but
like,
it would be so cool to see like a properly done Halo movie.
yeah. I think if you got like the original creators to do it, and somehow get funding from a big like Universal or Warner Brothers or something,
Yeah.
and they did the whole thing themselves, they could, but they're gonna Hollywood the fuck out of it and
Yeah,
ruin
it's-
everything.
Yeah.
So you're right. I do
One-
want to see it, but I would hate it.
One of the directors or higher ups is going to be like, "Well, we need to see Chief's face." You're like, "No,
no.
no."
No, no.
No, we don't. It was like the original
Yeah,
Judge
like
Dredd. The original Judge
who
Dredd
could you pick?
with hold on, Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone, the movie, the reason everybody hated that, if you've read the comics, was that you don't know what Judge Dredd looks like. He always has the helmet on. He never takes his helmet off. And then in that one, it was like he never had it on. And then when they redid and they did just the Dredd movie, it was perfect because he didn't fucking take his helmet off the whole time. Like, we all knew it was fucking, what's his name from Doom and all those other movies that he did, but we knew what he looks like, but we didn't know what he looked like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, back to your thing. Who would you cast as Master Chief?
Yeah, like I just picture them casting someone like Tom Cruise.
Which would be
I wouldn't
terrible.
like that.
They would have to cast a no-name person who you didn't want to see his face. And then you didn't know who he was, so you didn't automatically give him a face on accident.
That would have to be a big thing, because giving him like, I don't know, someone from The Walking Dead's face, like Daryl's face or something, would completely ruin it.
Yeah.
You couldn't pick someone that people already know from the series, can you? Because then you just think, oh, it's this fuck face.
Yeah, you'd have to for sure get somebody that nobody knew exactly what he looked like at all.
Yeah.
Until his
but even
IMDb
at that,
page.
like his face, the makeup effects that they'd have to do, it's like scarred up. It would just look so cheesy. Like, yeah,
because he would have to be fucked up.
I don't want a Halo movie, but I really want a Halo movie.
I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Case in point. Dragon Ball Z movie, kind of cool concept. Dragon Ball Z execution, fuck.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. Like,
The Last Airbender, like, no, don't
holy
touch
shit!
Like
you literally, that one really pisses me off because you literally just had to do what they told you to do, and they just ruined it.
I never watched the movie, and I'm glad.
I watched 10 minutes of it and went, fuck! And threw everything in my house.
You're really not. Okay, so anyways, getting back to
Halo.
Back to the Halo universe. So the basic premise is that the Covenant, which is not a specific race of alien, it's actually a covenant of different types of aliens that have all kind of banded together. They are at war with the human race. Humans have been exploring outer space for like 300-something years. It's set, I think, like 2,000 years in the future or something. And so they're like the two intelligent, well, human race is an intelligent species, where the Covenant is an intelligent group of species.
Can you air quotes that next time you say humans are intelligent?
Intelligent. Anyways, so they're in constant battle with each other, basically, because humans are racist or speciesist. And also, it's control for planets.
Yeah.
People want more control. So Dr. Halsey, she's one of the main characters, she comes up with this program where they take young children, like elementary school kids, and they basically put them through this rigorous training program, and they use like augmentation on them to create super soldiers. And so there's the Spartan 1 program, which was a complete failure. It killed like all the kids that they used. So Master Chief is part of the Spartan 2 program. So they tried it again. They kind of like tweaked their methods. But basically they would make them super strong, a lot bigger, but still like 70% of the kids would either become cripples or die. So it was only the ones from the process. It was only the ones that survived that would then start their training. And this is all done on the planet Reach. So there's, a handful of Spartans. The Fall of Reach book talks about how these little kids are taking out Covenant cruisers and, like just super soldiers to the max. And then the Covenant find out where the planet is and basically blow it up. And supposedly all the Spartans are killed except for the Master Chief. So that's why in Halo 1 he's the only one. And throughout Halo 1 they talk about how he's the only remaining Spartan. I think even in Halo 2 they're saying he's the only remaining one. But where's I going with this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Point being, it's about these little kids that are kidnapped away from their families, raised to be super soldiers, and then spend their entire lives fighting an alien species. And they're literally the only thing that can actually beat this alien species. I mean, even in the games, you see all the Marines, they just get fucking wiped out. Like humans in and of themselves are absolutely no match for the Covenant. So they had to create these super soldiers. And, I mean, there's so much story that I could go into, and I don't remember it all chronologically off the top of my head. But you really, really, really need to play the games. And on top of that, Bob, Halo 5. Okay, so Cortana, however you want to say it, she's an AI that is, there's a bunch of AIs that are designated to the Spartans to kind of help them with their HUDs. And so Cortana is John's AI. And she is special because she has a lot more free will and personality than other AI. And so throughout the whole Halo series, she actually becomes more and more corrupted just based on what's going on. AI only are supposed to have a certain lifespan. And I think by the fourth one, she was already well outside of what that lifespan is supposed to be before, the program or whatever it is that they're using to create this AI starts to malfunction and break down.
Yeah.
So Halo 5 is all about Cortana going through that, where her personality is starting to tear itself apart and her programming is fucking up. And obviously, John and Cortana aren't a love relationship in the traditional sense, but they've been through so much shit together that the backstory, it was heart-wrenching to do it. And just to watch her spiral into insanity. And then I'm not going to spoil anything, but the ending of Halo 5, if you are at all invested in the series, was just, I don't want to say perfect, but it was...
Yeah, never want to use the word like perfect because that makes it like too hype.
But it was the only way that it could have ended.
Okay. So it was perfect in the sense that it was exactly the way that it should have happened.
It wasn't the end of Dexter or Breaking Bad.
Haven't watched either of those, so
I haven't finished Dexter.
Everyone was super upset at the endings because they didn't
okay.
apparently do the series justice. But this one, it ended the way that it should have,
Gotcha.
in my opinion.
Great.
So-
I'll give you that. Halo
Halo did
definitely-
have a good story.
Yeah.
I kind of fell off after 4, so I never played 5, I guess.
Mhm.
But I still enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind hopping back into it. I tried to watch gameplay on 5, but I also didn't watch every episode put out.
I think the most gameplay I watched in Halo 5 was the X Games
Oh,
when they had the Halo 5 tournament.
yeah, okay.
I
was
think
like,
they kind of fucked their own franchise though with the actual style of the game. Because after Halo 3, they almost made everything look like a Gundam, which is cool. But it doesn't make sense within the Halo universe.
Yeah, and they also
Stylized everything.
they also switched development teams. Like it went.
Also,
I
I think
think,
my
Yeah, I think,
freezing.
yeah,
I think
the
we're
connections screwed up a little bit, so...
Oh, okay, you're back.
I'm back.
Do that thing you were talking about.
People play Halo primarily for the multiplayer. That's what 80-90% of your consumers are going to do.
Like the Call of Duty
And
series.
they just took isn't a word. They took away
It did, Taken.
all the personality from the multiplayer maps. It was like, oh no, now you're just in a simulation, so it's okay if everything is just shapes like blocks and triangles that you're moving around in with some grid background.
Okay. But
So
I mean,
they really screw themselves in multiplayer,
yeah,
which
they also
is a
switched.
very big distance with the franchise because the story is really good.
Yeah, and they also switched development teams. Like when Bungie walked away, they're like, "Well, we've told the story we want to. We're out."
Right.
And then 343 took over, and they were like, "Can we finish?" And they were like, "Yeah, go for it. It's not our thing anymore. It's Microsoft's." So
It'd be like a dad who's an artist who like makes this beautiful picture, and then his kid at the end is like, "Can I paint it?" And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And then the kid just like smudges all over it.
Like, you little son of a fuck.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's so good. You're trying to be creative. Yay.
I love that.
I love it. You took my awesome thing and you made it bad. So, yeah.
All right.
Definitely recommend investing into Halo. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I took away from this topic, guys, is I need so much more time because there's so many games that I want to replay through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Need more
Like,
time.
I got the biggest fucking nerd boner, like, thinking about stuff. I was like, oh my god, that's so good, I want to play it.
Yeah. For sure. It's definitely one of those things where you're looking at all of them and you're like, oh, man, I never even actually finished that one. Like,
Yeah. I might be
Yeah.
a piece of shit for the next week and a half and just binge play video games as soon as I'm off work.
do it.
That'd be
All right. I think you're up, Tyler. Are you good, Taylor? Or you said
I'm
you're
good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Tyler. I gotta pee real bad. So
Sorry.
I might bail like halfway through this.
Okay. Well, I don't know how long mine will be, but I did have a little trouble deciding. I was half tempted to choose the Darksiders, but since I didn't choose...
I'm just gonna listen from the bathroom.
Okay.
I can't do it anymore. Sorry, guys. I gotta do it.
But since I didn't fully play through the second one, and I can't remember the first one so well, I decided against that. I kept trying to pick one, and I finally came down to it, and I think one of the favorite stories or whatnot I have is the Dead Space franchise. I never played the first one, but I watched a full playthrough on it, and just funny commentary along the way. So I got the story, and then I played the second one a couple times, just trying to collect everything and level up different ways and whatnot. And the third one was okay. The story was all right. The co-op was exciting, but could have been better. But the whole story there, I thought was awesome, just because I love a good horror game, and the fact that,
Right.
kind of in relation to Senua's Sacrifice, he has a small bit of psychosis, I would say, but it's from the alien artifact stuff that's going on, and just the way he plays out and is like self-sacrificing himself, but also just trying to survive at the same time, I think is really cool. And I love the mechanics in the game, the space aspect, and how it changes whether you're in a low gravity, no gravity, or whatnot. But the story was a lot of fun, and how intense it gets in certain parts just when he's trying to get through a hallway or move on to try and forget something or figure out what he's supposed to do. The story in Dead Space, I think, is awesome.
So, what... Because I only played a little bit of the first Dead Space, and this was years ago. I've heard really good things about it, but what is the enemy?
The enemy... So, I've watched the Dead Space movie too. I think there might be a couple movies, but I've watched one of them where there's
Is that the
ancient...
animated one?
Yeah, there's an anime one. I think both of them might be anime ones. I'm thinking there's two. I can't remember for sure. But the movie basically is there's an ancient alien artifact found that I think was partially developed by the human race. I can't remember the full-on story of it. But
Don't look to me for this. I've never played any Dead Space game.
I'm trying to remember fully. I think either I might be mixing it up a little bit, but it was either the humans developed it and had to bury it away because it had horrible side effects because they were finding alien artifacts and they put it together. But that might have been like a mind control thing, or they had uncovered it and it was supposed to help with resources and everything, and then it started corrupting everything and so basically the enemy is like deformed humans that have turned into monsters, or beings that have turned into monsters and have started rampaging, and like did a throwback to Senua's, where like they all kind of have a little bit of psychosis, but I think the ones who got taken over by it essentially turned into monsters, and that's like a large part of the community and whatnot. There's only a few people who haven't completely lost it.
So it's kind of like the enemy is the corruption and like the mind control that it
Kind
uses.
of, yeah. But they instead of it all being in your mind, a majority of it is actually real. Like they were actually to fully bring it into reality.
Gotcha.
But there's still like mental aspects to it to where, like in the first one and the second one, he continuously keeps seeing his dead girlfriend.
Hell yeah.
Always trying to either attack him or tell him what he's doing is a mistake. You can't be doing this. You're a failure type of stuff. All sorts of things that completely screw with him, or sometimes reassuring into no, you're a fuck up type of thing. Like it's really,
You know, like all girlfriends do.
yeah, you know, it's an intense game and it's an intense series, and I loved all of them. The third one not as much as the first two, but it was still a lot of fun. And I don't know, just I love a good horror game, like I've said, and multiple episodes in this one already, like 2 or 3 times.
It's funny, like, mine was a horror game. Yours is a horror game. Wasn't one of Taylor's honorable mentions a horror game? Am I making that up?
I don't know.
I might be making that up.
Well,
I mean, The Flood's kind of a horror.
I forgot to touch on some stuff about Halo that Tyler totally just reminded me about, so
Okay, well,
maybe you could consider it a horror.
yeah, it's just I love the way it plays out and the intense, like one of the most intense scenes. If you haven't played it, I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil it. One of the intense scenes in the second one is the eye-piercing scene where you have to control a needle and pierce your pupil, but your guy freaks out and he's like, just his head's like jerking around, and you have to try and maneuver the needle into his pupil as his like face is just completely moving around.
I hate that.
It's so intense, but it's amazing.
Do that in VR.
Okay. I'll try it. I can stand
That
still.
that would be a cool remake, is like Dead Space in VR.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, if you want to dive into the Halo stuff, I don't really have much else to say.
Yeah, I missed. I'm an idiot, guys. I'm kind of spacey, but I missed basically the biggest thing of the franchise. It's called Halo, so what the fuck is a Halo? I got too caught up talking about the Spartans. So there was, I guess there kind of still is, an alien race called the Forerunner, which were basically like kind of ancient human robot things, and they're the ones that created all the Halos. And they created the Halos as a last-ditch effort to get rid of the main enemy, I guess, of the series, called the Flood. The Flood was eventually replaced by the Prometheans, I think they're called.
Yeah.
But the Flood is essentially
that's right.
a parasite that turns things into zombie-ish things. They attack it, transform it, and take over its body, and then they attack stuff. So it's kind of an idea about a zombie, but basically what the Halos are is the Forerunner, when they created them, they knew that they weren't going to be able to kill the Flood because the Flood just spread too fast. Kind of like a cockroach, how cockroach can survive nuclear fallout. So they knew that no weapon they had could kill the Flood, but what they could do was kill everything else so the Flood would starve. So the Halos are a universal reset, essentially, where when they're set off, they kill everything except the Flood, and then the Flood just dies out because they starve. So that's why the Forerunner are gone, because they tried it once and didn't work.
It didn't work.
Didn't work. So the Flood is still around, and that's why each Halo game, you're kind of going from Halo to Halo, and you're fighting the Flood a lot. The newer ones, like I said, are transitioning more into fighting the Prometheus, which I guess are also creations of the Forerunner, which are like AI sentient things. But
Okay. Yeah.
I just forgot to mention that.
So I guess, yeah, we all mentioned horror games. Because
Yeah.
I remember for the first time I played Halo, and I got to that first part where you're on the inside.
343 Guilty Spark.
The what? Say again.
The levels 3, 4, 3 Spark.
The open spark.
Yeah.
First uncovered.
Where you're following the little guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way,
Yeah.
this is the flood." And you're like,
What?
Yeah, you get down and you find all the dead Marines and blood, and you like pick up one of their chips and you insert it into your helmet, and it's like a horror scene. Like it's dudes, checking this room out, and like, what's going on in here? And then all of a sudden, all the floods start coming out and attack them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember playing that for the first time, and I was terrified. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, they weren't great. The first time you experienced it.
The flood was awful. I hate those are always the worst levels in all the Halo games. It's
Yeah.
like the fucking flood again. Where's my shotgun? Boom.
Oh,
Yeah, the level of the library, which had another name later, where I think you just played back through it. But the library is like infamous for people hating it because it's so fucking hard because there's so much flood,
It's so
and
hard.
there's the floods with the rocket launchers, which literally have auto aim. Like that's the way that they're programmed.
Yeah,
So
those
you're
ones
just getting
always suck.
shot by rockets all the
Yeah,
time.
you just gotta take them out first. You're the Spartan. You go after that motherfucker. You rip his head off and steal his rocket launcher, and then rocket launch everybody else.
Yeah.
No, all you do is you got to beat them down. That's it. You're only allowed to melee.
Yeah, dude, legendary melee only runs in Halo.
Have you guys heard of it's called lasso runs on Halo?
No.
No.
It stands for Legendary All Skulls On. Skulls are little Easter eggs in the Halo
Oh,
franchise that
yeah,
were introduced in Halo
I didn't know it had like a name like
one way or
that.
another. But yeah, there's like single player lasso runs on Legendary. Well, obviously Legendary All Skulls On. But one of the skulls that's consistent throughout all the Halos is when you die, you restart the level instead of going back to the checkpoint.
Yeah.
So that's why they're so difficult, because you cannot die.
Yeah.
One death, you're restarting the level.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah. The skull
Most people who play
modifiers.
Legendary die all the fucking time.
Yeah. The skull modifiers are always fun, but always terrifying to turn on.
Yeah. They're
Halo 2 had a really cool one. So in the first Halo, there's a level that is like most people's favorite level. It's the snow one called "I Would Have Been Your Daddy." You guys remember that?
Yes.
It's right after the I think the level's called the Cartographer, but you like drop down into the Pelican into this tube, and there's like a bunch of grunts, and you jump out, and then it's just like a bunch of snow bridges. Anyway, super cool level. But in Halo 2, when they introduced the skulls, they had one where I think you had to have every other skull in the game, and then on one of the levels, the second or third level, you had to actually jump out of the map where you technically weren't supposed to be, but since they put the skull there, they kind of knew people were going to get up there. And you have to run like in a very specific path, hitting a series of checkpoints. And then sometimes, if you got to this one area, the skull would be there. And I say that because I was able to get it a couple times, but this was earlier in the history of the internet, and all the videos that you could find on YouTube about it, there was like a bunch of different ways, a bunch of different routes that people would run around to get to the skull, but none of them were ever 100% consistent.
Yeah.
So people were speculating, like, is it a time thing? Like, is it steps you take? Like, polygons that you're running over?
Yeah, I remember the first time you took me out there to go get it. We tried that level 3 times, and it was never there.
Yeah.
Like, we'd get all the way out there and be like, well, it's supposed to be right here.
Yeah.
It's not here. Let's start over. And then we jump off and kill ourselves and do it again. It's still not there. We're like, well, fuck this.
Yeah, fuck this. But it was cool because when you got it, it would teleport you to a different part of the level where you'd have to fight waves of like super fucking powerful elites. And
Hell yeah.
I don't think you got anything cool from it. Like, I don't think you got, like a different skin for your guy or anything. It was just like a
It's
really,
fun.
really, really well hidden Easter egg that was really difficult to figure out how to get.
It was just for fun. You didn't unlock anything. It was just
just
Fun.
go kill stuff.
Yeah. I don't think I found that skull. I don't think I ever.
I never actually got to pick it up, but I mean, I went to where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't get it unless you like actively hunted it
Hmm,
and over and over.
So yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
All right.
Well, is that
Well.
it? Did we do the thing?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Cool. All right. Well,
I think we succeeded.
this has been General Nerdcast.
Yeah.
We love you. Bye. No, just kidding.
Episode 69 minus 7.
Yes. 69 minus 7, which is 62. Yeah. My train of thought is wonky bonky.
That's how you should refer to every episode from here on out.
Until we get
This
to
is episode
69.
69 plus 20.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, if you guys like to get a hold of us,
I'll give it a solid 8.
Yeah.
we have an email at generalnerdcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Facebook, General Nerdcast.
Yeah.
You can hit us up on Twitter at General Nerdcast, not General Nerdcast at the Twitters.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
we have Patreon in case you guys want to help us grow, help us improve the quality of the videos, the sound, everything about us.
Yeah.
General Nerdcast, Patreon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
YouTube, you can watch, comment, subscribe, like everywhere. Maybe give us suggestions on what you guys want us to talk about.
iTunes,
Guys,
Google,
gals.
YouTube, all of them. Do all of them.
All of them, all the things.
Rate, comment, subscribe. Everything.
Yes.
Everywhere. Like, comment, rate, subscribe, whatever it is.
Do the things.
They're all different.
Yeah.
Because fuck you.
No, nothing's the same.
Yeah.
You could even dislike.
No,
Let us know where
don't.
we're fucking up and how we can improve.
No, love us forever.
No matter what we do, give us a like.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
You went through everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and do all that stuff that Tyler just said. Listen to us in the morning. Hope you have a wonderful morning and a great rest of your day.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great afternoon lunch, and hope you had a good morning. If you're listening to us then, skipped a part. If you're listening to us in the evening, do it while you're having dessert. We'll fill your ears with sweet treats, and you can fill your mouth full of sweet treats. And if you listen to us right before you go to bed, yeah, it's dirty every time.
Yeah.
If you listen to us right before you go to bed, hope you have wonderful dreams, and cupcakes.
Dreams and cupcakes.
Yeah.
Smooches.
Moochies.